Off the sun-drenched shores of Brazil, a disturbing truth lurks beneath the waves. A truth that speaks volumes about humanity's impact on the natural world. Sharks, the apex predators of our oceans, are testing positive for cocaine. This isn't science fiction. It's a stark reality. 13 Brazilian sharp-nosed sharks, captured and tested near Rio de Janeiro, revealed this disturbing trend. The presence of cocaine in their systems, a substance entirely foreign to their natural environment, raises alarming questions about the pervasiveness of human activities. This discovery, while shocking, is not entirely surprising. The waters off Brazil's coast are a known trafficking route for illicit drugs. Discarded packages, their contents leaching into the water, paint a grim picture of the consequences. But the story goes deeper, revealing a more insidious form of contamination. The cocaine found in these sharks wasn't just a result of direct ingestion. It was present in their very flesh. This indicates a more systemic problem, one that implicates the entire marine food web. The sharks, through their predatory nature, have become unwitting indicators of a much larger issue: the insidious creep of human-made chemicals into our oceans. The discovery of cocaine in sharks serves as a stark wake-up call. It's a reminder that even in the seemingly boundless expanse of the sea, the consequences of our actions are inescapable. The initial reaction to the phrase cocaine sharks might be one of disbelief. It sounds like something out of a sensationalized headline or a low-budget horror film. However, the reality is far more unsettling. Scientific analysis has confirmed the presence of cocaine and its metabolites in the tissues of these marine predators. The implications of this discovery are profound. Sharks, with their position at the top of the food chain, are considered bioindicators. Their health reflects the health of the entire marine ecosystem. The presence of cocaine in their systems is a clear sign that this ecosystem is under threat from human activities. While the precise effects of cocaine on shark behavior are still being studied, initial observations suggest potential changes in their movement patterns, feeding habits, and overall physiology. The drug, known for its stimulating effects in humans, could be disrupting the delicate balance of these creatures' natural instincts. The discovery of cocaine sharks is not just a scientific curiosity, it's a potent symbol of the unintended consequences of our actions. It underscores the urgent need for greater awareness, responsibility, and action to protect our oceans and the life they sustain. The journey of cocaine from clandestine labs to the bodies of sharks is a complex one, highlighting the interconnectedness of our planet's systems. While discarded packages undoubtedly play a role, the contamination runs deeper. Wastewater runoff, often inadequately treated, carries with it a cocktail of pharmaceuticals, illicit drugs, and other contaminants. These substances find their way into rivers and streams, ultimately flowing into the ocean. Another pathway is through the marine food web itself. Smaller fish, feeding on contaminated plankton or invertebrates, accumulate these toxins in their bodies. These fish, in turn, become prey for larger predators, leading to a process known as biomagnification, where the concentration of contaminants increases at each level of the food chain. The presence of cocaine in sharks is a stark reminder that what we discard on land doesn't simply disappear. It enters a complex and interconnected system, impacting life in ways we are only beginning to understand. The discovery of cocaine sharks throws a harsh spotlight on the far-reaching consequences of the illicit drug trade. This global enterprise, driven by demand and fueled by vast profits, leaves a trail of destruction in its wake. Deforestation, habitat loss, and violence plague the production zones, while the trafficking routes scar landscapes and communities. The contamination of marine life with cocaine is a stark reminder that the consequences of this trade extend far beyond the immediate human cost. It highlights the interconnectedness of our planet's ecosystems and the harsh reality that our actions have ripple effects that are often unseen and poorly understood. The fight against drug trafficking must go hand in hand with a commitment to environmental protection. Addressing the root causes of demand, promoting sustainable livelihoods in production zones, and strengthening law enforcement efforts are all crucial steps in breaking the cycle of destruction. Section 5. A toxic cocktail. The broader issue of ocean pollution. The presence of cocaine in sharks, while alarming, is merely the tip of the iceberg. Our oceans are becoming increasingly polluted with a vast array of human-made chemicals. Industrial waste, agricultural runoff, and plastic debris are just a few of the culprits contributing to this growing crisis. Pharmaceuticals, from antibiotics to antidepressants, are finding their way into marine environments, disrupting the delicate balance of marine ecosystems. These substances can interfere with the growth, reproduction, and immune systems of marine organisms, with potentially devastating consequences for entire populations. The ubiquitous presence of plastic waste, breaking down into microplastics and nanoplastics, poses a further threat. These tiny particles are ingested by marine life, entering the food web and ultimately ending up on our plates. The long-term consequences of this ingestion are still being investigated, but there is growing concern about the potential impact on human health. Section 6. Silent Suffering. The impact on marine life. While the discovery of cocaine in sharks has captured headlines, it's important to remember that they are not the only victims of this pollution. Countless other marine species, from microscopic plankton to majestic whales, are being impacted by the ever-increasing presence of human-made chemicals in their environment. These chemicals can have a wide range of effects on marine life, depending on the substance, the level of exposure, and the species affected. Some chemicals can disrupt the endocrine systems of marine animals, interfering with their growth, development, and reproduction. Others can weaken their immune systems, making them more susceptible to diseases. The cumulative impact of these various forms of pollution can be devastating. Coral reefs, often described as the rainforest of the sea, are particularly vulnerable. Pollution, coupled with the effects of climate change, is leading to widespread coral bleaching and death, threatening the livelihoods of millions of people who depend on these ecosystems. Section 7. From Sea to Plate. Human health implications. The contamination of our oceans with drugs and other chemicals is not just an environmental problem, it's a human health issue as well. The fish and shellfish we consume are part of this contaminated ecosystem, and the toxins they ingest can end up on our plates. While the levels of contaminants in seafood are generally considered to be low, there is growing concern about the potential long-term health effects of chronic exposure, particularly for vulnerable populations such as pregnant women and young children. The presence of pharmaceuticals in seafood is particularly worrying. Antibiotics in the environment can contribute to the rise of antibiotic-resistant bacteria, posing a significant threat to human health. Other pharmaceuticals, such as hormones and antidepressants, can disrupt the delicate balance of our own endocrine systems, with potential consequences for our reproductive health, metabolism, and behavior. Section 8. Uncharted waters, the need for further research. The discovery of cocaine in sharks has opened a Pandora's box of questions about the pervasive impact of human activities on our oceans. While this finding is alarming, it represents just a small glimpse into a much larger and more complex problem. More research is urgently needed to fully understand the extent of the contamination, the long-term consequences for marine ecosystems, and the potential risks to human health. We need to develop more sensitive and accurate methods for detecting and monitoring contaminants in marine environments. We need to conduct long-term studies to assess the cumulative impact of these substances on marine organisms and ecosystems. And we need to investigate the potential pathways of human exposure to these contaminants through the food chain. The task ahead is daunting, but it is essential. Only by deepening our understanding of this complex issue can we hope to develop effective solutions and safeguard the health of our oceans for generations to come. Section 9. Our collective responsibility. A call for action. The discovery of cocaine in sharks is a stark reminder that we are all connected to the oceans, regardless of where we live. These vast bodies of water are not just a source of food and recreation. They play a vital role in regulating our planet's climate, generating oxygen, and supporting a staggering diversity of life. The contamination of our oceans is a collective problem that demands a collective solution. We need to reduce our reliance on single-use plastics, improve wastewater treatment, and transition to more sustainable agricultural practices. We need to strengthen regulations on industrial discharges and promote the development of cleaner technologies. The task ahead may seem overwhelming, but it is not insurmountable. Each one of us has a role to play in protecting our oceans. By making conscious choices in our daily lives, supporting organizations dedicated to ocean conservation, and advocating for change, we can make a difference. The future of our oceans, and indeed our planet, depends on it.